Hello, and welcome back to the Bright Light Wellness YouTube channel. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Today, I wanted to come on here and talk a little bit about the upcoming time change, right? If you follow me, you know I'm really big on circadian rhythms and circadian biology, and to me, it is the biggest foundation to health that we really want to support, and we really want to have these correct circadian signals in to support our correct circadian or support our cellular signaling, right? So when we have a big time change like this can kind of disrupt that. And time changes have been associated with things like heart attacks and heart disease and, things in that nature that can be super unhealthy. So I just want to come on here and just give you a few tips on how to, navigate the time change. Not every state follows it, but where I live, it is going to happen, and a lot of other states as well. So basically, I think it's coming up on November 2nd, I believe, we are going to be falling back, right? We spring ahead and we fall back. And I don't know the reasoning really for the time changes. I'm assuming it's something to do with, modern living and people having to get up earlier, right? And it's still too dark out. So they want to have the light in the morning so they can start their day, which is good because we do need adequate light signals in the morning to support our circadian biology. And I mean adequate sunlight signaling, right, to support our circadian biology and the health of our hormones and everything else. So we do need that sunlight in the morning, but it's going to change. There will be an hour time difference. So instead of the sun is rising for me in New York about 7:15, it's kind of dawn, like you see the dawn, and like by the time I actually see the sun, it's more like 7:30. So now it's going to it's going to fall back. So that will now, instead of being like 7:30, it's going to go to 6:30. So it's going to be an hour difference. And then in conjunction with that, it'll be darker earlier, right? So now instead of the sun setting, which right now it's setting about 6:30, now that's going to be more like this 5:30 time. It's going to be earlier, right? So it's like, how do we adjust to this? What do we do from a circadian perspective to help our bodies realign to this kind of new timing schedule that is kind of forced upon us, right? It's not something that we are going to gradually do. It's going to be forced upon us. And one of the things we want to do is, depending on what time you're getting up, like I'm already getting up about 6:30 because I have to get my kids up and ready. So I'm up at that time. But if you're not, you might want to like slowly each day this coming week, like start getting up a little bit earlier. So your body is like adjusting to that if you're already not. Like I naturally rise with the sun, but because of when I don't have to get up, but because I have kids, I have to get up about 6:30 now to get them on the bus at 7 a.m. So I am just going to continue to get up at the same time. Right now, I'm wearing my orange tone blue blockers in the morning because I don't want to, disrupt my circadian rhythms and circadian biology. And now now I'll be getting right outside because the sun will be up already at 6:30 when I get up. So I'll just get right outside. So you might, if you're not used to getting up at that time, you just might try to like move the alarm clock by like 10 minutes. If you're using an alarm clock, I don't, but if you are using that, to just get up a little bit earlier each day, right? So that would be my first suggestion, right? Every day you're going to get up a little bit earlier this week to prepare your body for it. And of course, the number one way or the best way to reset your circadian biology is to have the first light that your eyes and skin receive be sunrise light. Pointing over there because that's where I go out. So just get right outside, ground, geolocate, tell your body where it is in time and space, get all that cellular signaling, let your body know it's daytime by setting the circadian rhythm, and your body will naturally adjust, right? So just can make sure like the next day after the time change that you're up and you're out at that time to just kind of reset, and the body will adjust. The circadian rhythms, like just the rhythm itself, not the whole biology, can be reset in just a few days, like 3 to 5 days. So after 3 to 5 days, you should be all good to go, right? If you are continuing to see the sunrise and if you are continuing to ground and be out there at that time and tell your body what's happening in your environment, okay? Now, on the flip side, at the end of the daytime, the sun is going to be technically going down earlier, even though it's not, right? That the nights are going to start sooner. So to prepare for that, one of the things that I do is I kind of shift my dinner a little bit earlier because I like to eat with the rhythm of the sun. So I don't eat past sunset time. And this is not a hard, fast rule for everybody. But if you have any sort of chronic disease, metabolic, hormone disorders, you really want to follow that. So what I'll do this week also is I'm already kind of doing it because I naturally prefer this way of eating, but I will start to move my dinner a little bit earlier. So I'm eating closer to this like 3, 4 o'clock time. That's my dinner time in the winter instead of like the 5 o'clock time. So I'll just slowly move my dinner a little bit earlier. This usually has me weaning out lunch. I don't usually take a lunch or eat in lunch this time of like as the winter comes because I naturally the sunlight window is shorter, so my feeding window is shorter. So I have a longer intermittent fasting, if that makes sense. So yeah, you might want to shift that over. And then as soon as the sun sets, you want to wear those blue blockers. Now, I wouldn't wear blue blockers sooner, like to prepare for the time change, but I would, on the days that the day that the time does change, as soon as the sun sets, still put on your blue blockers. So you want to eat a little earlier, still put on your blue blockers, and then you just want to follow and continue that rhythm as the weeks continue on, right? So that's my suggestions. I always tell clients orange after sunset, because you don't want to wear red, when the sun is setting at 4 o'clock and you're not going to be going to bed till say maybe 8 or 9, because you will get tired. You will be releasing that melatonin really soon, because red tone blue blockers block both the orange both the green and the blue light frequencies. So it makes you very sleepy. So wear the orange after sunset and wear the red an hour before bed. If you want, I have a guide that I just put together. I'll link it here in the show notes for you. It's a blue blockers guide, and it will, I think it's like $10 or $12, and you could learn where to get quality blue blockers and how to use them and why to use them and like different things about blue blockers. It's just a quick little ebook that you can take a look at. If you have questions about blue blockers, you can purchase that. And of course, you can always ask me questions. I'm really an open book. And yeah, let's make this time change easy and natural and keep ourselves feeling healthy and good by just continuing to align that circadian biology. I would ground at sunrise and sunset to establish or entrain that circadian biology and circadian rhythm. And then I would also, just continue to eat those meals, start my food, with sunrise, like eat around sunrise time. That is a change for me now when the sun comes up a little bit earlier. Again, I will be trying to eat a little bit earlier. I try to move my breakfast always closer to that half hour after sunrise time. So now because the sun was rising at 7:30, I was eating more 8:30. Now, okay, the sun is rising at 6:30. I'm going to try to eat closer to that 8 o'clock or 7:30 time, probably closer to 8 o'clock, giving my schedule. But yeah, just shift it a little bit earlier, right? Shift those things a little bit earlier. So you're just really aligning to the natural rhythms of the sun. I hope that's really helpful. If you want to learn more, of course, about circadian biology and why it's so imperative to health, you can check out my podcast, the Quantum Health Connection podcast. Subscribe to this YouTube channel. There's a lot of information here. You can also work with me. I do one-to-one coaching clients. I have room for 2 clients right now for one-to-one coaching. I have personalized healthcare plans, which are pretty intense and in-depth plans where I write you these amazing, protocols and plans that teach you how to realign your circadian biology, how to use sunlight as supportive medicine, and then how to really like optimize your diet and all the things to support your health and your healing. And that comes with a summer plan and a winter plan. And I then also make a recording for you explaining those plans in depth. So they're pretty in-depth program. And then I also have like webinars and ebooks. I have my course, which is my big course, which is the Rebalance Your Rhythms course, where you can learn really everything you need to know about circadian biology, mitochondrial health. Even as a practitioner, it would be supportive if it's not something that you're aware of, that you could really learn a lot of great information. So you could check out that course. Then I have like my little ebooks and webinars, which are great, actually. And I shouldn't call them little because they're really super supportive to health and healing. But there's the Get Your Light Right ebook, which teaches you how to use sunlight as medicine. And then also there's it also teaches you how to mitigate your indoor light environment to support health and healing. And then I also have my ancestrally and seasonally nourished recipe ebook and webinar, which teaches you how to implement a seasonal diet, which is really awesome. That'll be changing. Right now, it's called the Ancestral Diets Basic, which teaches you how to implement a seasonal diet. Soon it will be updated with a recipe ebook as well. So that's getting an update. And then I have my winter webinar, which is new, which is a How to Thrive in Winter webinar, which teaches you how to optimize your health through winter. Because winter can be a super, super time for health and healing, to do a lot of healing and repair work in the body. So I want to help people optimize that. So there's lots of ways you can work with me, whether it's my courses, webinars, ebooks, work with me one-to-one. And then, of course, I'm a classically trained homeopath. And if you've been doing all the things to support your health, but you're still struggling, that's what I would recommend. So, because there's some sort of energetic blockage that's really not allowing you to make the traction that you want to make. So I hope this is helpful and supports you on this whole time change. And if you have any questions, comments, please leave them below. If you need to learn, if you want to know more about me, or, explore this YouTube channel, my podcast, The Quantum Health Connection. And you can always reach me at my email, contact@brightlightwellnesscoach.com as well. So I hope that's supportive. Have an incredible day, and I will chat with you guys on the next video. Bye.